Good day! This is Teacher Rowan. I'll be your guide in exploring Google Apps for education, for teaching and learning. In Google for Education, teachers can connect and collaborate easily while staying on task. It gives teachers the freedom to spend more time personalizing the learning experience and less time managing it. Students can learn essential skills such as 21st century problem solving, which they can use it in their future careers. As such, the accessibility features will also help and assist every learner to do their best work. Google offers different useful applications that we can use to connect education to technology. This will help our teachers as a 21st century educators to innovate and find ways on how to make teaching and learning more exciting, engaging, effective, and flexible to the demands of the society. Let's re-explore the education experience by discovering new angles to create, collaborate, and communicate as one. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Ang pagkatuto, huwag gawing komplikado. Sulong edukalidad.
Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICT's Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del P. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Ayan, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Welcome po sa isa na namang edisyon ng ating ETUlay para sa 4th quarter. Tayo po ngayon ay nasa 4th quarter na. So, gladly, ako po muli ngayon ang inyong magiging substitute tutor in behalf of Sir Joshua. So, for the first session po natin ngayong 4th quarter, today po ay Matalino Friday. Nagpapasalamat po kami, by the way po, sa muli po sa aming nakasama nung nakaraang quarter at ngayon po sila pa rin po ang pinagbasihan ng ating mga sessions na ginagawa sa ETUlay para sa high school. So maraming salamat po sa SDO Negros Oriental Region 7 para po sa module na pinahiram po nila sa amin. So para kasi po ngayon sa ika-4 na markahan, ang ating pong pag-uusapan ay still under the content geometry. So we'll be talking about for quarter 4, week 1, theorems in triangle inequalities. So, ayan po. Ano po ba ang pinapakahulugan natin ng triangle inequalities? So, kung mapapansin nyo po, nung nakaraang quarter, ang pinag-uusapan natin ay congruence. So, hindi naman po lahat ng shape ay merong ganoong attribute. So, when we talk of triangle congruence, meron po tayong pinag-uusapan na parehas na, sabi nga natin, ang congruence ay parehas ng shape at parehas din ng sukat. So ngayon naman po, ang pag-uusapan natin ay yung hindi nila pagkakasukat, specifically sa mga parts ng triangles. Okay? So let's have our objectives. Ano po ba ang objectives natin para sa ating unang session ngayon sa ika-4 na markahan for Math 8? So at the end of this session, you will be able to illustrate, apply, and show inequalities. So nakapokus po tayo doon sa idea na yon na hindi lahat ng triangle ay congruent, but we also have triangle inequality. So we'll be using the following theorems. Una po yung exterior angle theorem. Okay, so I'll talk about, pag-uusapan po natin yan later on. Meron din po tayong tinatawag na triangle inequality theorems. Okay, and yung pinakahuli po ay pag-uusapan din natin yung Hinge Theorem. Okay, na very simple. Mahaba po yung theorem na yan, pero napakasimple lang po na naisip pakahulugan. So we'll talk more of that later. So I hope you are all staying with me and you will be staying hanggang matapos po ang session na Math 8 around 3 o'clock. Okay, so ating na pong i-recall. So ano po ba yung mga kailangan nating balikan na pinag-usapan natin over the past few meetings? So nung nakaraan po, at kahit naman nung elementary kayo, napag-uusapan nyo na pag sinabing triangles, kaya nga po yung prefix na tri, T-R-I, stands for 3. So meron po siyang lahat 3 sides, 3 angles, and 3 vertices. And of course, since triangle po siya, ang total ng lahat ng mga interior angles niya will total to 108 degrees. Okay? So yan po yung kailangan nating tandaan habang dinidiscuss natin yung mga different theorems na binanggit ko po kanina sa objective. So, ang triangles may 3 sides, meron din po siyang, of course, 3 angles, kaya triangle, okay? And then 3 vertices, and the total measure ng lahat ng angles sa loob ay 180 degrees. Okay? So, nung din pong elementary, napag-usapan nyo na rin perhaps ito. So, we can classify triangles according to the measure of the angles. So, sa unang category po, according to measure of the angles, pwede rin natin siyang i-categorize according to sides. Yan po. So, ano po ba yung according to angles? So, meron po tayong tatlo. So, of course, we have acute triangle. So, as shown in this figure, we are saying na yung tatlong angles po na yan, all are acute angles. Kaya tinatawag po natin siyang acute triangle. And we also have right triangle. Nabanggit na po yan nung nakaraang markahan. So, sinabi natin na ang right triangle ay yung legs niya ang tawag natin doon sa 2 sides. 2 consecutive sides na nagpo-form ng 90 degrees are the legs, and the longest side is the hypotenuse. Okay? And then, of course, meron din po tayong tinatawag na obtuse triangle. And kaya siya tinawag na obtuse, meron siyang isang obtuse na angle. Okay? And then, as what we said, meron naman din po tayong classification ng triangle according to sides. Meron po tayong tinatawag natin na equilateral triangle. So, from the word equi, and the markings also affirms that na ito pong equilateral ay lahat ng sides pare-parehas ng measure. So, halimbawa po, sa ating figure, kung yung base ay 3 cm, so yung dalawa din pong naka-incline na side, okay, minimize na ko po, those are all 3 centimeters as well. So, yun pong ibig sabihin ng equilateral triangle. We also have isosceles triangle. So, as the marking show, meron po tayong dalawa lang na congruent sides at yung isa ay naiiba. So, isosceles triangle po ang tawag natin dyan. And of course, when we have different measure for each of the 3 sides, ang itatawag doon ay scalene triangle. Okay, so according to sides, meron tayong equilateral, isosceles, and scalene triangle. Okay, let's go now to the first theorem. So, una po nating pag-usapan muna yung triangle inequality. So, ano ba ang idea ng triangle inequality? Okay, so just like what you see in our figure here sa bandang kaliwa, meron po tayong triangle na nilabel na triangle A, B, C. So, you will notice na meron kang angle A na iba yung measure dun sa dalawang natitira pang angle. So, angle A, in fact, measures 68 degrees. Angle B measures 41 degrees. At yung huli naman po dito sa bandang kanan ay 71 degrees. So, in effect, mapapansin din natin na yung mga sides opposite these 3 angles, magkakaiba din po yung measure. So, yun yung pinapakita natin sa ating unang figure. So, how will we summarize that? So, yun pong nakasulat na text dyan na sinasabi na yung relationship na nakita ninyo will help you decide whether there's a particular arrangement na pwede nating gawin para malaman natin kung ano ang pinakamahaba at saka hanggang sa pinakamaiksing side ng triangle. And vice versa. So kung given yung sides, pwede naman nating ma-arrange yung mga angles from the largest angle to the smallest angle. Why is that? Kasi kung titingnan po natin dito, okay, so sa bandang kanan na po tayo tumingin yung merong dalawang magkasunod na triangle, yung may mga markings na kulay pula, so makikita ninyo, ano ang opposite ng largest angle? So let's say this largest angle is 100 degrees, tapos itong dalawa ay parehas ng acute. Let's say 35 and 45 degrees respectively. So yung opposite ng largest angle na 100 degrees, we will call that side the longest side. And in the same manner, kung meron naman tayong, let's say, same triangle, ito ay 45, 35, at 100. So the smallest angle na 35, kunyari sa ating example din kanina, yung smallest angle na yon, ang ka-opposite niya naman will be the shortest side of the triangle. Okay, kaya nga sabi dito, dun sa unang figure, the longest side and the largest angle are opposite each other. Dun naman sa bandang ibaba, the shortest side and the smallest angle are opposite each other. Okay? So, ayan po. Nag-aantay ako ng mga comments. Wala akong, okay, tingnan natin mamaya sa StreamYard ang inyong mga comments. Okay. Ayan na po. So, okay na daw. Kala kasi hindi na nakita yung screen. So, I hope you are hearing me as well. Okay. Tingnan natin ngayon ang ating pangalawang theorem. So, aside from triangle inequality, yung pinaka-theorem na yun na binasa ko, meron din po tayong tinatawag na unequal sides and angles theorems. So, meron tayong una, unequal sides theorem. Ang counterpart po niya ay unequal angles theorem. So let's say we're given triangle, this time a different triangle. So scalene siya. So triangle PQR. So we have the measure of side PQ is 5. The measure of side QR is 8. While the measure of side PR is 7. So ano ang sinasabi ng unequal sides theorem? If one side of our triangle, so let's say ito yon, kino-compare natin, let's say yung QR tsaka yung PR. So you will notice na since kaling nga siya, hindi sila equal, yung QR at PR. So one of the sides is longer than the other. So in effect, sinasabi po dito na yung angle na P, na opposite ng QR, will be larger than Q na opposite naman ng PR. Okay, so yun po yung sinasabi sa unequal sides theorem. Let me repeat para po mas klaro. So let's say meron po tayong triangle PQR na ang measure respectively ng sides PQR and PR are 5, 8, and 7 respectively. We want to see the relationship, let's say, of the angles Q and P. So titingnan natin, ang opposite ng P ay yung longest side na QR. So, in effect, dahil nga kung may longest side tayo, ang length or ang measure ng angle P, rather, ang measure ng angle P ay larger than the measure of angle Q. Sa unequal angle theorem naman po, baliktad lang. So, magpapalit lang po, ang given, let's say, ay yung angle, one of the angle of a triangle is larger than another angle of the same triangle. Then the side opposite the larger angle is longer than the side opposite of the smaller angle. So, in effect, sabi nga natin, ang mga triangle inequality theorems will help us to arrange from largest. So, in this case, we try to arrange it from smallest to largest. Ganun po yung naging arrangement dito. So para sa angle, smallest to largest, at para sa side, longest to shortest. Or rather, shortest to longest. So QP is the shortest, So therefore, the measure of side QP is less than the measure of side PR. Okay, and of course, side PR is 7, so it's shorter than the measure of side QR. So in-arrange po muna natin siya dito in this manner na from shortest to longest. Tapos, sa opposite angles, mapapansin nyo kung in-arrange din natin sila following the correspondence, ang magiging arrangement po ay from the smallest angle to the largest angle. So, ang largest angle nga natin, sabi ko nga po kanina, ay angle P. Okay? So, medyo may kaugnayan pa rin siya dun sa unang binasa kong statement. Okay? So, kaya lang dito nakaspecify na pwede natin gawin yun by kung dalawa lang or in this case, tatlo yung pinakita natin. Okay. Let's have our first activity. So, activity number 1. So, I hope our online participants are giving their comments. Okay? Wala kasi akong nababasa sa StreamYard na comments. Okay, tingnan ko lang po baka dito sa kabilang monitor. Ayan. Okay, so may comments po ba? Wala. Okay, wala pa tayong comments. Ayan. So, balikan ko lang. Okay, so, ayan ang ating given. So, we have here the measurement of angle H and angle G are given. So, these are the respective measure. 45 degrees daw yung angle H and angle G is 35 degrees. You're asked to write the measurements of the triangle. So, measure of the angles at saka measure of the sides. Baliktad naman po ngayon, from greatest to least. So, ang nasa activity ninyo po sa module ay sinasabing, i-arrange natin yung bawat angle, yung tatlong angle na yan, from largest to smallest, tapos yung sides naman, from longest to shortest. Okay, so how will we be able to do that? So in the case na, dalawang angle pa lang po yung binibigay. So those are the measure of angle H and the measure of angle G. So yun yung sinabi ko kanina, kailangan matandaan ninyo yung mga nirecall natin. So ito ay triangle. Ano ang sum ng measure ng lahat ng angles? Pag pinagsama-sama, ano ang sum ng measure nila? So it's equal to 180. So if we're given the measures respectively of H and G as 45 degrees and 35 degrees, so ipag-add natin, ang sagot ay 80. Okay? So if 80 degrees na yung dalawang acute angle, so that means angle J is 100 degrees. So once we have already the complete angle, pwede na nating sagutan yung unang part, which is to arrange the angles from largest to smallest. Okay, measure. So, sabihin ano yung largest? So, tingnan natin dito. Pinakamalaki yung numerically. So, alam natin na pinakamalaki yung obtuse angle dito. Okay, which is angle J. So, therefore, our first one is angle J. So, the measure of angle J is greater than, anong sumunod sa kanya? So, kailangan kasi ganito po yung pattern ng pag-answer natin. So, hindi natin pwedeng i-separate lang by comma. So, we are following the greatest to least, kaya ang ginagamit na inequality symbol ay greater than. So, measure of angle J as the greatest, siya yung unang ililista. It's greater than, sumunod sa kanya is measure of angle ano po? Angle H. Okay? And then, the measure of angle H is, of course, mas malaki naman sa measure of angle G yung natitira. So, therefore, that is the arrangement. From greatest to least ng angle. So, mas madali sa angles. Now, how about sa sides? Okay, so, let's go now to the sides. So, tingnan nyo, ano yung opposite ng angle J? Okay, so yun yung magiging longest natin. So, we have to arrange the side naman in this case from greatest to least. So, that means yung pinakamahabang side down to the shortest side. So that means the answer would be side GH is longer than side, ano po yung susunod sa GH? Okay, side JG. Okay, and then side JG, in effect, mas mahaba siya ng konti sa side JH. So yan na po yung final answer for activity 1. Okay. So, isang example lang po yung binigay ni Sir for Activity 1 kasi you just have to observe the pattern. So, paano po natin siya sinasagutan. So balikan natin, kung ang meron nang naka-label ay yung mga angles, so mag-start muna sa angles, kumpletuhin muna siya. And then after you arrange the angles from the required order, in this case, in descending order, so ipa-follow nyo lang din yung correspondence na ang opposite ng angle J ay GH. So siya yung longest. Ang opposite naman ng second to the largest angle na H ay JG. So siya rin yung second sa list. And of course, the shortest side is opposite yung 35 degrees na GH. Okay? So ganun lang po yung pagsagot sa activity number 1. Okay, let's go now to the next theorem. So para masagutan yung activity 2, kailangan natin balikan yung activity, rather yung theorem na ito. For this particular theorem, so ano po yung tinatawag natin na exterior angle theorems. Okay? So alam natin na sa ating bawat triangle, meron lang siyang tatlong interior angle. So in this case, meron po tayong angle B, angle A, and angle C are the interior angles. What we are saying in the exterior angle theorem is that the measure of an exterior angle, so let's say in this case, angle ECB, is equal to the sum ng remote interior angles niya. So yung tawag natin dun sa non-adjacent interior angles are the remote interior angles. So kung halimbawa, let's say we will retain the measure na binigay ko kanina, 45 tsaka 35. Okay, hindi lang realistic kasi obtuse na pala to. Let's say, doblehin natin, gawin natin 70 at tsaka 90. Okay, let's say this is 70 and 90 degrees. So ang ibig sabihin nun, the measure of the exterior angle na ECB na malayo sa dalawang angle natin, remote exterior angle ng angle B and angle A is equal to the sum of angle B and angle A. So, kaya ang ibig sabihin nun, kung ito ay 70 at 90, the measure of angle C is 70 plus 90 or 160. Okay, so yun po yung exterior angle theorem. So, ano naman yung exterior angle inequality theorem? So, from the word inequality, we're just comparing angle C sa bawat non-adjacent interior angles niya. So, dalawa yung non-adjacent interior angles ng ating given example, yung ECB. So, the angle ECB is simply called, in this case, angle C. So, the exterior angle, angle C, is greater than the measure of angle A. And at the same time, it's also greater than the measure of angle B. So, yun po yung exterior angle inequality theorem. Okay. So, for activity 2, hindi ko talaga mabasa sa StreamYards yung comments. Okay? So, just give me time. So, ayan, ipa-flash ko muna po yung activity number 2 para po you can analyze what the activity asked for this time. So, this time, gagamitin lang natin yung mga nakaspecify na inequality symbols. Those are greater than, okay, meron din pala, I'm sorry, relationship symbols kasi merong equal. So, pwedeng equal siya. So, in this case, we have greater than, ba siya, less than, okay, or equal. So, ano ang relationship ng bawat pair of angles sa isa't isa? So, let's say, the first one is, kino-compare yung angle 5 na interior angle nung nasa gitnang triangle, at saka angle 3. So, gagamitin natin yung previous theorem dito, diba? Yung exterior angle inequality theorem. So, we're comparing an interior angle, angle 5, to the exterior angle na angle 3. So, ano dapat ang ilalagay na inequality symbol? Ganon din sa number 2. Sa number 2, ang exterior angle in this case is angle 1, at ang interior angle dun sa first triangle, ito, yung tinatrace ko po ngayon, is angle 2. So, what should be the symbol to be used? Okay, and number 3, measure of angle 3 is being compared to measure of angle 7 na interior angle nung pangatlong triangle natin dito sa bandang, sa baling pangatlo, first, second, third. Okay? So, ayan. I'll give you at least 30 seconds. Okay? Habang tina-troubleshoot ko lang yung StreamYard. So, anything goes po pag live, hindi ko talaga makita yung comments sa StreamYard. So, I'll be using Facebook. So, I'm giving you 30 seconds and your time starts now. Yan, pakisagutan po. Okay? Ayan. So, hindi ako makapagbasa ng comments. Sandali. Ayan na po. I'm trying to... Ayan. Okay. Pasensya na po sa delay. Okay. Dito na po ako mag-base. Wala talaga. Okay, wala tayong nakasulat ng comments. Okay. Ayan. So, tingnan na natin yung mga magiging sagot natin for the first one. So, we have the measure of angle 5. We are comparing it with the measure of angle 3. So, kagaya po ng sinabi ko, angle 5 is an interior angle. Tapos, angle 3, okay, yung nasa exterior siya nung gitnang triangle. So, therefore, the measure of angle 5 is less than the measure of angle 3. Okay, so yan po yung ating first answer sa activity number 2. If we're comparing angle 5 and angle 3, the relationship symbol to be used should be less than. Okay, pagdating naman po sa number 2, ang nauna na binanggit sa relationship ay yung exterior angle na angle 1. So, the measure of angle 1 is blank to the measure of angle 2. So, ano po dapat yung inequality symbol na ilalagay? So, of course, kasi siya yung exterior angle, yun ang una-una. So, therefore, the answer would be the measure of angle 1 is greater than the measure of angle 2. Okay, and of course, following the same pattern, sa number 3, ang magiging sagot po natin ay the measure of angle 3 is greater than, kasi nga po 3 yung nasa labas, nung exterior angle siya nung, technically it's the exterior angle nung isa pang triangle in between them ng angle 7. So therefore, the measure of angle 3 is greater than the measure of angle 7. Okay, let's go now to our last theorem for today. Actually, second to the last po. Pinakamahaba ito, sabi ko kanina sa introduction ko po, pero napakasimple lang ng sinasabi ng Hinge Theorem. So what does, okay, let me just give to you ano bang sinasabi sa Hinge Theorem. In geometry, we have this so-called Hinge Theorem, and the Hinge Theorem states that if two sides of one triangle are congruent to two sides of another triangle, and that the included angle ng dalawang sides na yon of the first is larger than the included side of the second, then we can conclude that the third side of the first triangle will be longer than the third side of the second triangle. Okay, so medyo mahaba siya, pero napakasimple lang po ng kailangan ninyong tandaan about the Hinge Theorem. So you will be comparing it, let's say, dito sa figure na to. Okay, so we have, so sabi, dalawang side yung congruent. Sa lahat ng illustration, pare-parehas lang naman yung length ng AB at AC. Dito rin sa second figure, parehas lang din yung length niya sa first, yung AB at saka AC. Same with the last na obtuse na siya. So, yung angle A. So, AB and AC, pare-parehas yan with the measure ng AB and AC dun sa unang dalawa. Okay, so ano ang ating magiging observation? So, we can observe that angle A, okay, na mas maliit kesa sa angle A ng pangalawa. So, let's say this is our angle na in question. So, let's say ito ay angle A, mas malaki yung angle A, kaya mas mahaba yung third side niyang CB compared dun sa CB no unang triangle. Okay, and so much more dito sa ating obtuse triangle, di ba? So, angle A, let's say, is obtuse. Malaki siya. So, siya yung may pinakamahabang side compare, third side compare dun sa remaining triangles. Okay? So, yun po yung sinasabi ng Hinge Theorem. So, to summarize, you will notice that paano po natin yan magagamit in real life? As the gate opens wider, okay, so yung, syempre, yung parang pinto, yung lapad ng pinto at saka yung lapad ng walkway, hindi naman nababago. So, habang nilalaparan mo yung awang ng pinto, ano nangyayari? Lumalayo yung distance. So, it implies na humahaba yung segment BC. As you make your angle A, the included angle ng dalawang kino-compare nga natin na sides. So, habang lumalaki yung angle na yun, ano nangyari? Humahaba yung ika-third side niya, which is side CB. Okay? So, napakasimple po ng sinasabi ng Hinge Theorem. Now, let's go. Yan, pwede rin siyang may apply sa, di ba, yung bisagra ng pintuan. So, kapag gusto mong i-close yung door, pinagdidikit mo yung bisagra. Okay? Parang ganun. So, yung awang yung nagiging ika-third side, yung measure ng awang. Okay? Let's go now to the last theorem for today. So, our last theorem is called the triangle inequality theorem. So, okay. So, ito ay napaka-useful. So, para malaman natin kung makaka-form ba tayo ng triangle sa isang given set of values for the measure of the sides. Okay? So, ano yung sinasabi ng triangle inequality theorem? So, the triangle inequality theorem states that the sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the length of the third side. Okay? So, dapat daw, pag kino-compare mo yung third side, lagi siyang smaller than the sum of the first two given sides ng triangle. So, halimbawa, in our figure, triangle ABC. So, if we want to say na naka-form talaga tayo ng triangle, dapat yung sum, let's say, ng AB at BC, so pag pinag-add yung measure ng AB at BC, it should be greater than the third side AC. Okay? Kung halimbawa naman, ang unang binigay na dalawa ay BC at AC, so the sum of BC and AC should be greater than AB. And of course, the last, kung given naman yung una yung AB at AC, so the sum of the lengths of AB and AC should be greater than the third side BC. Okay, so yun po yung triangle inequality theorem. So paano natin yan magagamit to answer the last activity? So in our last activity, ayan po yung binasa ko lang. So let's go now to the activity. Paano natin siya mai-apply? Okay, so let's say we're given the respective measure of the sides of the triangle are 6 cm, 7 cm, and 11 cm. Okay, so kailangan nating malaman kapag kinompare ba natin yung mga first two, let's say sa third, makaka-form ba tayo ng triangle as we go along. So, tingnan natin yung ating magiging solution. Kapag ganito ba yung measure, 6 cm, 7 cm, tsaka 11 cm, will we build a triangle or will we form a triangle? So, let's say, we will solve. So, una natin i-compare yung sum ng first two sa last. Okay, so, yun yung first solution. Pag pinag-add mo yung 6 cm at saka 7 cm, it is 13. And 13 is greater than 11. So, dun sa first condition, check siya. 13 is greater than 11, so okay. Let's go to the second condition. Pag kinumpare naman natin, let's say, yung 6 saka 11. So, what is 6 plus 11 compared with 7? So, the sum of 6 and 11 is 18. So, mas malaki siya ulit dun sa, rather, 17. I'm sorry, 17. So, mas malaki yung 17 sa 7. So, therefore, check uli yung ating. Okay. So, isa na lang. So, tatlo kasi dapat yung conditions na ma-meet. So, ngayon, ang i-compare naman natin ay ang 7 plus 11. So, pag pinag-add, yun pala yung 18. 7 plus 11 is greater than the shortest side, in fact, na 6. So, therefore, tatlo condition yung na-meet. So, ang ating conclusion ay makaka-form tayo ng triangle. Therefore, kapag ganyan yung ating given sides, we can form a triangle. For activity 3, meron pang isang example dito. Ayan. So, paano naman kapag 3 meters, 6 meters, and 9 meters? Is it possible to construct or form a triangle with this given lengths? Okay. So, tingnan pa lang natin sa una pa lang. Di ba? Pag pinag-add mo yung first two sides na 3 and 6, that gives you 9. And 9 is not greater than 9. So, therefore, Kasi 9 is equal to 9 ang dapat na relationship symbol. So therefore, i-X na agad siya doon pa lang sa unang condition. So kapag 3 meter by 6 meter by 9 meter, we will not form any triangle. Okay? Yan po yung number 2. Yan ay last. So that's our lesson. So pinakita dito na pwede nating ma-verify ano yung mga natutunan natin. First, we were able to learn the exterior angle theorem. And then, we also learned about the different triangle inequality theorems. And of course, yung ating huling diniscuss is the Hinge Theorem. Okay? So, yan po yung ating lesson ngayon sa Math 8. So, unfortunately, nagkaroon ako ng napabilis po yung aking discussion kasi wala po akong nabasang comments. So, ipopromote ko na lang po. So, kung meron po kayong gustong balikan mula po dito sa lesson natin for the 4th quarter, the first lesson for the 4th quarter, please feel free to visit again our FB page ng DepEd Edtech Unit. Pwede nyo rin pong i-visit yung DepEd Philippines. And meron din po tayong YouTube channel na you can subscribe. You can like our channel po. Panoorin nyo rin po ang mga episodes namin sa DepEd TV, DepEd Online. So, ongoing po yung mga pinapalabas sa DepEd TV na episode. So, panoorin nyo po para supplement po. Ito po ay supplement lamang po doon para sa inyong mga anak. So, maraming salamat po. Kita-kits po tayo para sa susunod na math session, which is Math 9. So, see you later po. Thank you, sir.